Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Ramp on the play for game one. If this hand had a forest or forest equivalent, it'd be so good. Even a talisman would have made all the difference. I mean, we could keep this, theoretically speaking. The number of hits off top is pretty high. I mean, K command is 4, plus forest equivalent is 9, so 13 hits, 1 draw. It's not bad. It's not my favorite either, though, because we just have 0 castables. Mulligan. This is better. I actually like this a lot. I will keep. We're going to pitch the Emrakul. We can always grab that back. Reveal Devour, trigger. There's Myco spawn. Grab Myco. Play Temple and pass. And pass. Polluted Delta, fetch 19. Watergrave Shock 17. Thoughtseize. That is quite unfortunate. Because it does mean that they take the Rumble. Then we're unable to set up for the Myco spawn kicked on 3. They took the Speaker. So unless they have a Force in hand, that's fascinating to me. We'll fetch for a Forest and Rumble. Do you have a Force? No Force. Weird choices by opponent. We'll pass. Interesting. New spawn token. I'll hold. Very weird choice by opponent there. Why would you not take the Rumble? It's not as if the Speaker was castable on 2. Swamp. Bowmaster. Bowmaster target spawn. In response will sack. And phase change. We'll draw. Breaker. We'll cast Myco spawn. Unfortunately not kicked, but that is fine. Yield all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No reason to go for the Ugin. Instead, we'll go for Temple and set up for Devour or World Breaker. Temple. And pass. This does feel like one Shitong. Flooded Strand. Fetch 14. Hollowed Fountain. 12. Push. And Bones. Starting to feel more like Goryo's, but Goryo's has never played Bowmaster to my knowledge. A little bit confused there. We'll draw. Lab. We are short Ugin by 1. I'm going to Devour Bones. Devour Bones. And Lab, Imprint Breaker, and pass, and hold. Backstreet Surveil. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 land off Ugin. Passing. 3 in hand. We'll draw Sire. Go to combat. Attack with Devour. No blocks. Down to 6. Lethal's on board. Sire, 7 death. Opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. The Emperor Bones kind of throws me off. Makes me think we're playing against Goryo's. I mean, given the colors, it feels like Goryo's, but I do wonder if opponent was playing Bowmaster because it was bugged, though that bug has since been fixed, so I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at a Goryo's list in a hot minute, so maybe I'm mistaken and they now do play Bowmaster. Let me take a look at a Goryo's list. Not that I can see, so this does perplex me. And I'm fairly certain that Wanchi Tong does not play Emperor Bones. So now I'm just confused what I'm playing against. Weird. Alright. I mean, could it be Esper Blink? Does Esper Blink sometimes play Emperor Bones? That'd be my only other thought process. Esper Blink. Yeah, sometimes does. So this could be Esper Blink, Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Emperor Bones, Bowmaster, all check out. So yes, this is Blink in that case. We'll bring in Heat, cut the returns, drop Bajuka Bog, trim a Rumble, keep 6 Ice Till since they might play Break the Ice. Basics, though, we can trim a Ghost Quarter and probably bring in Dismember. We could bring in Flute, Name Consign. They'll probably play 3 to 4 in the sideboard, maybe 1 main. So we could bring in Flute, but I'm not all too pressed. At the same time, I guess Dismember might not do too much, though it does hit Felia, which is relevant. We'll keep the Dismember. In the Esper Blink matchup, Dismember does hit more than in the Jeskai matchup, I suppose. Hand looks decent. I'll keep it. And pass. Gala Shrine Shock 18 for Thoughtseize. So yeah, this is likely Blink, not Wanchi Tong. Probably take the Mycospawn here would be my guess. Takes a Talisman even though I have redundancy. Interesting, we'll draw. Temple. No reason to reveal the Temple. I'm trying to think if there's a reason for me to play the Stomping Ground untapped here. I don't think there is. So Stomping Ground, Stomping Ground tapped, pass. And pass. Polluted Delta. Another Thoughtseize? Sure. Takes the Mycospawn this time. We'll draw. Lab. We'll play the Temple, cast the Talisman, and pass. Now we hold Dismember and Heat. I was really hoping to kick the Mycospawn on 3 if you found a 7-mana value spell or another Temple, but no such luck with that second Thoughtseize. Alright, they're holding. We'll draw. Lab, play Lab, no Imprint. And hold. Playing Felia. They could have Ephem here, so we're going to go to Upkeep. And I want to go Heat or Dismember. I'm thinking I want to go Dismember. But Heat might be the better choice. The downside, of course, of using the Heat now is that we then lack the ability to get rid of Riddler. So we'll Dismember Felia. Do you have an Ephem? If so, we still have the Heat. I'm going to get rid of this Felia one way or another. Felia down. We'll hold. And there's the Riddler. Draws a card and warp. Witch Bless tapped and goes to end step and warp. No Ephem draw. Commercial District Surveil. Sanctum Yard and hold. So no Felia in hand. They did not keep a blue source up, so no Consign in hand either would be my guess. Potential Solitude though, down to 12. I guess they didn't have the option of keeping a blue source untapped since they played the Riddler. So here's Riddler Warp. They'll draw a card. Unfortunately, Actually, no, heat is not one short. It is online. We'll draw. Verdant Cap. Forgot that we put Sanctum to yard. Play the Verdant Cat, and while shields are down, we'll heat and pass. Thankfully, it didn't matter since we didn't exactly have too much more to play with. Surveil. Keeps it on top. Is this an Emperor Bones? Another Riddler. Draw a card up to 4. Emperor Bones. Surprise you didn't just hardcast the Riddler. They'll take the Talisman, 3 types in yard. End step, warp, fetch, Stomping Ground tapped, and draw. That is a threat, but I fear a cake, not a cake command, a consign here. I mean, I'm tempted to just K command, but I guess if I'm going to do so, I should just do it on their upkeep, at least then that way they tap down a blue source. I will K command. Do I want to ramp? No, I think I'm going to scry draw exile. Exile bones. And done. And there's consign, as I thought. We'll pass. I guess we could have theoretically waited until after they may have cast Riddler. C's down to 8. Maybe I should have waited until the Riddler. Takes the Riddler. Emperor Bones. Riddler, draw. 8 down to 7. Emperor Bones trigger and draw. Another K command. Play a land so they already know about it. Done. And again, go to upkeep. K command. Scry draw exile Emperor Bones. And done. Do you have a second consign? Opponent just goes, really? Oh, you gotta love it, opponent. You gotta love it. How would I like to proceed here? How many types do I have in yard? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 10. We could go speaker, but not play the Emrakul. Because I'm tempted to grab Misty Rainforest here. Though actually, I don't care that much about it. I think I will go... Because I want the K command. I like Microspawn. I like Speaker. Dismember, Heat bottom, Talisman bottom. I guess we could forgo the Misty and go... The problem is that Speaker and Microspawn both shuffle. So I'd want to go Speaker, Misty, pick up the Misty, draw on a Speaker, play the Speaker, but they could get consigned, I suppose. Though they clearly don't have one. I might just go K command and Myco, honestly. I'm going to say bottom, bottom, top, top, draw the Myco pass. Because we can use the Myco to try and suss out another consign, is my initial thought. Riddler, draw 1 up to 4. Marshflats fetch 7 all. Hollowed Fountain Shock 5. Another Emperor Bones, sure enough. Emperor Bones takes Felia, Myco Spawn. We'll draw. In that case, I am thinking that I want to get rid of Riddler for sure. You no longer need to suss out a... consign. They've given us the go-ahead. I would like a blocker for the Mycospawn, though. That way we avoid losing to Bones Adept. The alternative is to ramp in Scry Draw for, let's say, a Devour. We could do that. Could Myco kick as well. I'm not sure if kicking here really does too much. So I think we might just go Myco. Leaves back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Myco. Temple. K commands. Scrydraw, exile, or ramp. I'll Scrydraw, exile the Riddler. If they kept pushing, they kept pushing, I suppose. And done. Riddler down. There's Emrakul, Sire, Worldbreaker, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I am thinking Sprawl out, Breaker top, Sire top, Emrakul top, Heat top, draw, and pass. And pass. At most, they can hit me for 6 by adapting Felia, blinking the Myco. Yes. Riddler. Draw a card. Bones. Target Felia. Sure enough. Ping cost adapt. Now you could flicker the Riddler instead of the Mycospawn, but then you're feeding me Felia or Bones. Flickers the Riddler. In that case, we can block the Felia, keep the Myco as a blocker and attacker. So Felia out, take 4 down to 3. Trawler hits my yard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are unfortunately now short on Emrakul by 2. So that is quite unfortunate. Maybe I should have grabbed Cyrus 7 Death, since it would have had pseudo hexproof. Oh, damn. And Riddler also cannot be taken down by heat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mycospawn would equal 12. We will concede. Yeah, I guess I did not take into consideration the possibility of the Trawler. I probably should have in retrospect. Bring in Rumble, trim out Gemstone, run it back. Yeah, that's a bit of a misplay on my part. I probably should have played around that possibility. On the play for game 3, I will keep looking for a lab here. Or a temple as well. Either or would be nice. Yeah, I think in retrospect maybe Sire would have been the right choice. Their life total being so low and it having pseudo hexproof. Reveal Devour, trigger. We whiff on a land. I'm tempted to ship all then and draw fresh. The other temptation is just to go the Rumble. That way we can dig deeper on turn 3 if needed. Could go that route. Dismember is also appealing, but I really do want to just try and fire off for a land, but I guess Rumble can find the land, so we'll go for a second Rumble then. Stomping Ground, Shock, Sprawl for green, and pass, and pass. Opponent's passing, draw, Rumble, cast Rumble. We whiff. I will grab Mycospawn and hold. Yeah, not finding any lands there in the top 8 is pretty rough. Even if 20 in deck, I guess 19, but still. Opponents will surveil. We have another Rumble to try and find our second land. We'll pass. And hold. Trawler, or Bog rather. Could be a Bowmaster. We'll draw. K command. Double green, sack the spawn, and Rumble. And there's the temple. I suppose we could wait, or we could fire off Mycospawn. I'm going to fire off Mycospawn now because if they have a Felia, they're going to want to cast the Felia. If they don't, then they'll have the Consign. There's the Consign. We'll pass. That's fine. We accounted for that possibility. We'll pass. Marsh Flats. Thoughtseize. You're not going to exactly like what you see. You could take the Ice Till. But the 2K commands also can't exactly be ignored. Neither can the Emrakul. Takes the Ice Till down to 14. Holds up a blue source, likely for Consign. I'd like to at least see a land here. We draw. Lab. Imprint, Devour. And hold. Fetch down to 13. Hollowed Fountain, Shock, 11. Felia, in response, I'm going to ramp and exile the Felia. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess it'd be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. K command X2 on the Felia. Also allows me to hold back a K command X2. And we'll hold. Paying cost for Ashiok. Ashiok will resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. It's shifting, forest, temple, and speaker. Quite unfortunate, but fine. In that case, I think we go for Devour. I mean, if you want a Solitude at spawn, you can. Another Emrakul. Devour. It's the Ashiok and pass. End step and pass. Thoughtseize. Takes the K command. Witch Blast. 4. Teferi bounce. That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll draw. Forest. 2, 4, 6. 1 short pass. And pass. Tef plus. 3 in hand. Casting. Witch Blast. Or Witch Enchanter, rather. 2 short Devour, we draw. Myco. No kick. Myco spawn. Search for Temple. And pass. And pass. Two cards in hand. Tef plus. I mean, I kind of don't care about the Teferi here. I'm just going to start attacking you. You're at 6, friend, down to 5. Surveil. So you'd have a hard cast Solitude in hand. You might have a Consign still. Heat. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize resolves. Takes the Emrakul. Or not the Emrakul, the Devour, I suppose. But you're getting to an awkward position here where we almost have enough types for the Emrakul. Because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're too short. Takes the Devour. But now you're at 3, which means we're going to heat the Witch Blast. I do not think that potential line through. We'll see. Attack you. And pass. And dead. Alright, we'll take the win. Solid. Yeah, opponent hurt themselves a lot there between a very painful mana base and 3 Thoughtseizes. I'm pretty sure... Was my attack there the only combat damage dealt this entire game? I think it may have been, which is insane, but regardless, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. Looking for a Talisman or K command off top, so roughly 8 hits. Otherwise, I would love to see a Rumble, so I guess 12. Yeah, 12 hits looks right. We'll pass and fall. Flooded Strand. Pass, draw. Ice Still's nice. There's the possibility we draw into the K command. We can X1 if we play the Shifting, or X2 if we play the Temple. But there's also the possibility we draw into a Rumble. So let's go Wooded Foothill pass. Or not Wooded Foothill, Shifting Woodland, Jesus. Surveil. Sewers could be Wan-Chi Tong. Basic Swamp, we'll pass. Flooded Strand and passing. Eldrazi Temple. Do I want to put Eldrazi Temple in the way of a potential... Yes, I do actually. We're going to play the Eldrazi Temple. I was thinking, do we want to put the Eldrazi Temple in the potential way of a field? But the answer is yes, because of the Ice Still next turn. Do you have a Wan-Chi Tong? There is Fractured Sanity. Well, shit. That is not what I wanted to see here today. So this is Mill, if that wasn't already obvious. That's fine. Take my freaking Ice Still. I do not want the Ice Still in this matchup, but this is Mill. Like, I do not want to play Ice Still into Mill, friend. That is not on my list of things to do. Oh, so we're on the draw on the play, I forgot. We were on the draw. Yep, so this is Mill. We will pass. Well, the good news is we have a Shifting Woodland early, which actually is relevant for later. The problem is I don't want to fetch here because we could be playing into a whatchamacallit, archive trap, which I'm not thrilled about. But might just have to apply pressure. Gemstone. Yep, we'll play the temple and Myco spawn. Yield all. If you have whatchamacallit, archive trap, you have archive trap. We want to accelerate into this breaker and or the kicked Myco. I will grab temple. Show me the archive trap. No archive trap, okay. So we're free to cast the next Myco spawn then, unless they drew into it. Island. Fatal push. There's the push. 3. Tasha's. Only hit 6. Hit Devour Sire Myco. Ooh, that's very nice as well. I don't exactly want to put the breaker in harm's way, so we are simply going to kick like this. I want to ramp now. I know they don't have archive traps in hand. And then I'm thinking I might want to actually grab a forest, potentially. That way we can eventually get to the Shifting Wood. Otherwise we have Sanctum of Ugin. Let's actually grab the Sanctum here. They're off of black sources. You drew into the archive trap. Not thrilled about that prospect, but this is fine. I guess at this point, we don't play into a field effect. Play Bajuka Bog, call it a day, I suppose. We'll just Bajuka Bog, target you, and pass. And pass. 25 left in deck. Because the Sanctum now can get us to another threat. We'll draw. Lab. Play Gemstone. Okay, return Sanctum. Breaker. Breaker. Break. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Yeah, the fact they drew into the archive trap was quite unfortunate. So, K-Return out, Ice Till out, Ghost Quarter out, Gemstone in, Rumble out, Trinisphere, Dismember, Heat, and Bobble. Yes. I believe that's it. You don't necessarily need the Bajuka Bog. We could dump Bog, but what for? Not like we need Jailer. We could grab Flute. Flute's a thought. Yep. The good news is that we play 2 Breaker. The second Breaker legitimately is because of Tron. And the good news is it works well into Mill as well for Bridge. So I'm thinking I don't need a Bajuka Bog, bring in a Flute, and then on the play, if we make it the game 3, take out Gemstone. If they surgical the breaker, then yeah, we're kind of in trouble. Not much we can do about that, unfortunately. Let's run it back. I guess I could try and chain Emrakul's and mill them out with their own cards. I don't exactly care for the early Devour. His hand kind of does nothing early on is the problem. I'm going to mulligan. Sure, we can make this work. What do we pitch though? So Summon Ground Sprawl into Talisman, pitch the second Talisman, and pass. Surveil. Draw. Lab. In that case, we're going to Lab Imprint Ugin, cast Talisman and pass. And pass. Swamp. 2. Fractured Sanity. Shrinosphere, K-Command, Dismember, Sprawl. Question of the day, of course, now becomes, do we risk a Archive Trap? That I don't know. Looks like Surgical on K-Command. That's fine. They now know it's my hand. We could Speaker, pitch nothing instead of Vorkicked Myco. Draw. Flute. Flute is interesting, because we could name Archive Trap. Stomping Ground, Shock, Sprawl. Green. Do I want to play the Speaker, and if so, what would I even grab if I were to search? Not sure there's anything I want to search right now. I think I could hold on to the Flute, because with Speaker we have 6. If we find a land, it's 7. Find a temple, it's 8, which means we could cast Flute. Let's cast Speaker to start. Speaker, no pitch. And pass. And pass. Six cards in hand. They know I kicked Myco's on the way. No field. That's good. Holding. Could be consign. There's lab. In that case, I am going to play lab. No imprint. I don't exactly want to play directly into a consign, so we're just going to attack in a Speaker to start. No response, second main. We're going to hold the Flute. Fledgestrand, fetch 15. Surveil. Card to yard. And hold. Flooded Strand. Go to end step, Flute. Consign. There's the consign. In that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One short Ugin, we draw. Wooded Foothills. Now, I mean, if we're going to kick a Myco, we might as well kick a Myco and fetch. So in that case, I will fetch. For a forest, I'm going to tap, untap, keep the Ugin up. Kick Myco. Myco kick. Hit your sewers. You have a consign. I mean, if you have an archive trap, you have an archive trap at this point. We already burned your consign. Paying cost. Fledgestrand fetched. Looks like another consign then. But if they consign the search trigger, that tells me they don't have the archive trap. I guess they could at this point since I fetched, I suppose. Maybe I should have cast this before the fetch, but I want the Ugin untapped so I can bring it back to hand and cast it next turn. Because we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And there's Consign with the Replicate. Yeah, that flute would have been really nice, naming Consign. We'll yield all. All right. I'm very carefully selecting. And they must have messed up. Oh, they got a free body, and that might just cost them. We'll see. And opponent goes, well, I misclicked somewhere there. Yes, indeed, friend. And that does mean I have a 3-turn clock on board. 3 mana. Tishana's Fractured. Mill 14. There's a Breaker in Yard. Bauble, Emrakul, Breaker. We still have 1 Breaker left. Black for Surgical. If you do Surgical, what do you hit? There wouldn't be much other explanation. You hit the Emrakul. So this tells me at the very least they're not worried about Breaker right now. I'm surprised they didn't wait until my draw step to try and hit both Emrakul. That would have made more sense, right? Or am I mistaken? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. No, never mind, it doesn't matter. I was like, wouldn't that make more sense they did it from my hand? Well, I guess no, that still would have made sense, right? Because if I draw the Emrakul, then it's a draw that I miss. So they should have waited till I drew. Yeah, no, that is correct. Return Ugin to hand. We'll draw. Land Shock. Cast Ugin. Ugin, no targets. Yield all. Do you have a force? No force, will draw. Trinosphere. We're going to go to combat. Swing 5 down to 9. Ugin presents a 2-turn clock here. We'll pass. 3 cards in hand. We draw. Gemstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could Ugin 0 Breaker here, but I think I'm just going to plush draw. Sprawl. Sprawl on my forest. And green. Gemstone. And Trinosphere Ugin trigger. Yield all. And go to combat. Swing 4, 5. Down to 4. Lethal's on board. You can only cast 1 per turn now, and I don't think you have enough to mill me out. Bone skips it up. We'll take the win. Solid. We'll be back for match number 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. Hand's looking promising for a kicked Maiko on 3. If you draw into a Talisman, you play Talisman on 1. If you find a Sprawl, play Sprawl on 1. Draw. Speakers also appealing. Commercial District Surveil. K command top and pass. Fetch 19. Elegant Parlor. Could be Storm. Fledgestrand to Yard. Pass. Could also be a slow energy hand. pass. Feels more and more like it is, whatchamacallit, Storm, Rumble. Ice Till, Talisman, Sprawl. I kind of want to angle towards this Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We wouldn't have Emrakul next turn regardless. Let's go with the Ice Till. And pass. Let's see if I'm right in thinking that this is Storm. I guess I should hold in case it's not its energy. It's Blink. Okay. That answers that. It is Blink. That's Ophelia. And we'll hold. So we do want to get rid of Ophelia. Flage. I mean, you could just Flage, Helix me, Flicker the Spawn, hit me for 5, gain 3 up to 19. Fable. Okay. How would I like to proceed next turn is the question. We'll sack in response. Face change. And draw. Sanctum. Well, I do want to get rid of Felia. So I do think while shields are down, K-Command Felia would make a lot of sense. So in that case, let me play Sanctum of Ugin or Verdant Catacomb Fetch. Let us Verdant Catacomb Fetch. For a forest, K-Command, Rampant Exile. We'll exile the Felia. And done. Felia down, 6 types in yard. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 short Emrakul. Fable. Could be going for a Hasty Flage, potentially. Pitch 2, fetch into a Hasty Flage. That would be unfortunate. No Flage, thankfully. That Fable and Mirror Breaker does need to go, though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 10. 3 short Emrakul off speaker. So that's not an option either. Is this a Riddler? Looks like it. Dashed Ragavan. We'll block. Goblin Shaman always triggers. Block Ragavan. 2 white sources, 2 blue sources, 2 red sources. Kind of want to get rid of the Arena of Glory, if I'm being honest. Is this a Teferi? Do you attempt to bounce the spawn? You won't draw a card if you do. We'll sack in response and pass. That is fine. Ragavan dashes back. We'll draw. Devour. I will cast Ice Till. Play Forest and Mill. Play Verdant Cat and Mill. 6 in yard, 7 types in yard as well. I will pass. I guess in retrospect, we could have actually played Speaker to ramp if we had imprinted the lab. Maybe that wouldn't have been a bad idea. Kind of want to pocket the Devour, though, for this Reflections of Kiki Jiki. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have Emrakul next turn as well. Sacred Foundry, Shock, Tef Plus. You have a Ragavan in hand and one unknown. Why would you shock there unless you have a Solitude? I guess it also could be a Riddler. There's a Solitude. Yep, that's fine. Do I want to mill any more cards right now? I'm going to say no then. So the Goblin Shaman will attack down to 15. End step, fetch, and Stomping tapped. We'll draw K return. Funny enough, the K return would have been pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 5 would be 2, but we can bump it up to 3. Myco kick. Kick. Arena of Glory. No hasty fiends from you. Lab. Imprint. Devour. And K return pass. Clear board, and a primed K return. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Emrakul's primed. Tef plus. And passing. We'll draw an Emrakul from hand. Go to combat. Swing at Tef. You know I have a Ragavan in hand. Tef down. So again, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Return Emrakul to hand. And cast Emrakul, triggers, yield all. Notice Sanctum. K return no. Keep the Stomping Ground for later. We'll pass. Do you have a Solitude? Pain cost. And there's Solitude. Up to 27, consign. I can do some fun shenanigans here then. Go to main, we're gonna dash Ragavan. Ragavan is dashed. Ragavan will go to combat, attack. No blockers, combat damage, trigger. Trigger on the stack, consign the Ragavan trigger. And pass. Ragavan dashes back. And pass. We're going to dash another Ragavan. Sure enough we are. One card in hand. Take 5 down to 20. Kozilek's command. Unfortunate. Ragavan dashes back. And we'll draw Speaker. I will cast... Yeah, I think we'll cast the Emrakul first. 1, 2... Emrakul, Sanctum, trigger, Emrakul. I'll say yes. Grab Myco. No. Our turn, comrade. You don't have another Solitude. Though I guess we can dash the Ragavan into Myco, so we'll keep back as blocker. Solitude. Interesting. Quantum Riddler. I mean, we could theoretically Quantum Riddler. So we could dash a Ragavan, Quantum Riddler, draw 2, and then see if we could Solitude. Go to main. So let's start by dashing the Rag. Red. We'll say blue. Dash to Rag. Quantum Riddler Warp. Draw 2. Trigger. Plains Flage. Perfect. So in that case, we can evoke, exile the Flage, Solitude, exile Riddler. Riddler gone, Solitude gone, yield all, yield all. Go to combat, attack with Solitude and Ragavan. Go to blocks, block, block, and pass. Triggers on the stack. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we actually can't even play the Devour, just hold it up. Teferi, sure, sure. Teferi bounce Emrakul, sure. I'm more than happy to take more of your turns, friend. Ragavan, sure. Draw, sprawl. Green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm thinking Stomping Ground Shock. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 minus 2 would be 13. So we can play a Myco then. Myco spawn. Temple. Emrakul. K return, yield all. No. And I suppose we'll Myco attack at Tef. You'll probably just block it though. Yep. No surprises there. End step and our turn. Ephem. Nothing to use Ephem on. We'll pass in full. And pass. Tef plus. Draw. Wooded Foothill. Let's go to combat. So there's an Ephem, one unknown. Attack all at you. Down to 4. Return Devour to hand. K return, Devour, Devour Tef, yield all. Consign to memory. Yield all. Sure. And no. Wooded Foothill, fetch. Forest. Speaker. Speaker, pitch, speaker. We'll go for another Devour and pass. This way, if no matter what, if they find a blocker, it doesn't matter. We just win. Riddler. Riddler draw 2. Ephem Riddler. Draw 1. They should have Ephem the Riddler when they had the trigger on the stack, so they would have drawn more. And that's still not enough, unfortunately, friend. Solitude, sure. Solitude will Solitude Emrakul. Down up to 30. Tef plus. Riddler. Draw. But as I said, that is still not enough. Exile Riddler. No. And go to combat. All at you. Ragavan will block. And lethal damage. Solid win. Let's go to sideboard. We'll bring in Heat. Drop the K return. Keep the Bajuka Bug. Trim a Rumble. And I think that's about it. We want to keep Ice Till. We want to keep 6. We need to keep a Juka Bug. Ghost Quarter is relevant in this matchup. There's always been some argument for Flute and Bauble, but I never feel too pressed. Honestly, I really don't care about fluting Consign most times because I oftentimes will sequence things in ways where it doesn't matter too much. But I think there's definitely an argument for it. If I were to bring in Flute, what I'd bring in, or I'd cut out rather, Ghost Quarter and maybe either an Emrakul or Breaker, I suppose. But we're in a back like this. We can make this work. We do need a green source though. I'll keep Reveal. Would love to see a Forest to Forest equivalent off the Devour trigger, but it will Surveil. Either that or a K command. Trigger with that gemstone is just unfortunately a turn short. We will pitch all. Draw fresh. K command. I will play the Temple and pass and hold. We're pretty far off of Emrakul, so we're going to imprint the Emrakul. Draw. Tuck Emrakul and pass. Do you have a Felia? Arid Mesa, fetch 19. Sacred Foundry, shock 17. Show me the Felia. Sure enough, we'll K command, scry draw, exile, exile the Felia, looking for a green source. Another K command, I suppose I'll top draw and pass and pass. Surveil. Keeps it on top. Casting. What are you casting? Riddler? Riddler Warp. Draw. This shows they don't have Consign in hand. We'll draw. I will imprint Sire Devour. I'm thinking Sire here. And at this point, I'm just going to fire off now. I have no reason not to, not with their shields down. Let's ramp Scry Draw. X equals 4. Geez, no green sources, eh? In that case, I'm thinking bottom all, try and draw fresh. The other thought is maybe the Sanctum of Ugin. I will say bottom all, draw fresh. Ugin's good though. If Ugin resolves, it's pretty much GG's. We'll hold. Just present that we could have something. Again, it's unlikely if they have consigns they tapped out in full. Riddler, warp, draw a card. Given that they tapped down their blue sources, it feels like a Ephem here on Riddler, draw another card. Hallowed Fountain, tapped, no consign then. Which means this Ugin's going to resolve. We're going to draw, rumble, Jesus. I do not know how we've whiffed on so many green sources. Regardless, Ugin, trigger, yield all. And I'm pretty sure this should be GG's. We'll draw, green source, temple, play temple, pass, and pass. I guess I should hold on the off chance of a discharge. Opponent has a 2-turn clock on them now with this Ugin. Red, Charmaw, Trauma hits. What does Charmal hit? Sire 7 death, Emrakul, Sire, that's fine. Draw, Rumble, Ugin draw. Can I see a forest equivalent, please? That does work. Tap Emrakul, or tap Ugin's Lab. Talisman, target, yield all. Mycospawn, kick. Ugin, no targets. Myco, kick. Kick your second red source. I will grab a fetch, but I'll scoop it up. We'll take the win. Solid. All right, we'll be back for match number 4. All right, we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. I will keep. This is a Rumble and or 6-on-2. 6-on-2 is not bad. We'll draw, or I guess we'll not draw. We'll play Forest, Sprawl, Green. I suppose that there's a chance with Spell Snare the 6 is probably better than the Rumble. Wooded Foothill, Fetch 19. Steam Vent Shock for a Ragavan. So it's either Zoo or Blink. Yep, there's the Ragavans. We're going to play 6 then. We'll draw. Speaker. Speaker's also an option. Speaker does get us to Ice Till. Wooded Foothill. Fetch. For a forest. No, let's go for a Stomping Ground, question mark? No, I'll go for a forest. Forest, thinking we could Speaker pitch or we could Rumble. The benefit of Rumble, of course, we can set for a land for next turn. Yes, I will Rumble. And of course, the land for next turn is Bog. I'll grab the Bog, question mark? No. I'll grab another Myco. That is quite unfortunate. And hold. Attack. We'll block. Wooded Foothill, Steam Vents, Ragavan. Feels like Zoo. Flooded Strand and Passing Draw. Forest. Cast Ice Till. Grab Wooded Foothill and Mill. Stomping Ground and pass. End step. Fetch 16. Triumph. It is Zoo. Tells me you have removal in hand. We'll still block the Ragavan regardless. So likely a Flage. Either that or a Bolt, but I'm okay with this. Kala Shrine, Shock 14. Flage. Flage, Helix, target, Ice Till. That will resolve. Ice Till down, Flage. End step, fetch. For a Commercial District, Surveil. Unfortunately, but Juka Bogs in Yard. So you might not be able to get rid of the Flage right away. Sprawl. I have an idea, though. Sprawl to Yard. 4 types. We draw. Talisman. Cast Talisman. Mycospawn. Yield all. Shifting Wood. And pass. Opponent's going to need... They can't cast Flage next turn, which is my thought process here. So we're going to Shifting Woodland the Ice Still, but Jukabog their Yard. That should be good. Paying cost. Mountain. Still short Kavu. Kavu's fine. Sign of Draco, less fine. We draw. Ghost Quarters, interesting here. So we can Shifting Target Ice Still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 3, 4, so no. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Shifting. Bajukabog. Target you. And mill. Lab. We could go for a Ghost Quarter on the Triome, shrink the Kavu, though it only shrink it by 1, 2, 3, 4, only by 1 down to a 4, 4. So I'm not as confident on that. Instead, I think I'm going to grab the Lab and mill. Breaker to Yard. Breaker's interesting. Though I think I'm going to cast Formidable Speaker. Speaker is going to pitch Mycospawn or Ghost Quarter. Next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will... I'm going to pitch 6. And I'm going to grab 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We also could go Emrakul. There's a lot of interesting choices here. I will go Emrakul or Breaker. Because Breaker can hit Sign of Draco. Yeah, so it's Emrakul, Devour, Breaker. I will go Breaker. And pass. No attacks. And pass. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We also can theoretically Shifting Woodland 6 and cast Breaker from Yard off a Retrace. That's also a thought. Or the Devour, in fact. We have a lot of options here, which is nice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we could Myco kick into Breaker. We're going to block with Myco to mitigate 3. Take 6 down to 12. If I play the Ghost Quarter, though, it means I can't pitch it to 6 is the only issue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minus 4 would be 6. Not enough for both the Mycospawn and the Breaker. But I think it's still probably worth it. We can always bring back the Breaker. Yeah. Attack with both. Kavu. Kavu will exile card. Exiles the Breaker. Rude will block. Still Devour, though. Down to 12. Ragavan. And draw. Windswept Teeth. I think I'll still play the Ghost Quarter and MTGO kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I want the breaker or the speaker untapped if possible. Actually, no, we still need to tap 2. Yep, MTGO kick, hit the Triome, shrink the Kavu, floats the white for Temple. And then we will tap. Actually, need to be smart about this. Tap, untap. With 2 mana or 2 lands, how much will Leyline Binding cost? So Leyline Binding, let me look up Scryfall real quick for the Oracle text. Leyline Binding. 1 less for each basic land type. So if you have 2, it'll cost 4, and right now you have 3. So we could just breaker the Godless Shrine and take him off of Binding here. And again, shrink the Kavu. I think that might be right. Hit the Godless Shrine and pass. Because then we can block the Scion, we can block the Ragavan, we can shrink the Kavu again next turn. 2. That's still not enough for Binding. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that is more than enough for 6 plus Devour. Binding the MTGO, sure. World Breaker hits board. I don't imagine they'll attack here. I think Sue plays 2 to 3 basics. We could try and Ghost Quarter loop them out the game. Really now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, Kavu. Stubborn Denial to Yard. We'll block the Scion, take 4 down to 8. Ragavan connects and pilfers. Malevolent Rumble to Yard. They can cast Rumble then. It's not like they can cast Binding, so Breaker should stick. Pain cost Bolt to 5. Do you have a Tribal Flames to finish it off? No shot. Actually, no, Tribal Flames won't get there. Yeah, Tribal Flames only 2. So what's this? Are you casting the Rumble? The Riddler, draw 2. Okay. Riddler Warp. Draw. Ugin. Well, that changes the math. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12. So I'm thinking we're going to copy Ice Till. That should leave back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Copy the Ice Till. Shifting target. We're going to Ghost Quarter loop you, get rid of that Kavu. Play our Ugin, get rid of the binding. What say you, opponent? And opponent suited up, we'll take the win. Solid. Alright. For Zoo, I actually forget how we sideboard for Zoo. It's been a hot minute since I've played against it. Let's take a look at the sideboard guide that I've made. Zoo, Zoo, Zoo. Where is Zoo? So K-Return definitely out. Heat in. I mean, I have half a mind at times to bring in Fade. Rumble, Trim, Ghost Quarters stays. 6 is kind of mid overall. So we definitely want Heat in. I think we take in 1 Fade and run it back. Because I don't think this is a good 6 matchup. Like, it looked great last game when we had the Shifting Wood, but I think 6 overall is probably not all too great. Doesn't block well, doesn't attack well, so it really is just a Yawgmoth's Will. And I don't think that is enough, unfortunately. At least not in this matchup. That's a mulligan. If we had a lab, this hand would have been fantastic, but no such luck. I will mulligan. We can make this work. So I'm gonna fetch. We can keep this shifting. We rumble on 1. We rumble on 2. Do we pitch the second Verdant Cat? No. We can pitch Breaker, so we're gonna keep. We're gonna pitch the Breaker. Done. Reveal, play, exile, pass. Steam Vent, shock 18 for a Ragavan. Nope, looks like a Stubborn Denial. In that case, I'm thinking of doing one of 2 things. Could be Consign, could be Stubborn. So I'm going to just play it safe, play the Wooded Foothill and pass. Main. Arid Mesa, passing. End step, fetch, surveil. Bajuka Bog to yard. And draw. Ugin. Cast shifting. Cast Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? Grabs Temple. And I will hold. Again, we're playing around Stubborn Denial. Arid Mesa fetch 17. We draw into a Myco, we can kick Myco. Triumph suggests Scion on 3, while also holding up a blue source. Steam Vent Shock 15. There's the Scion, holding up a blue source. The Denial's online. We draw. K command. Let's start with Talisman. Does Talisman resolve? Show me the Stubborn Denial. I know you have it. Temple. Cast Rumble. Paying cost. Denial. Yep. We were correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 short Ugin. We could ramp Scry Draw in an attempt, but I'm not confident on its resolution unless they're tapped out. So if they tap out, then I might go for it. Otherwise, we're at least taking 4 down to 15. 15 all. I was really hoping they would counter the Talisman, so Shifting would be online, but no such luck. Binding. Binding target. Talisman. Rude. Go to combat. Down to 15. Second main. Passing. Draw. Heat. In that case, I have some ideas. We'll pass. No attacks. End step. And draw. Go to combat. We're going to fire off K command, Rampant Scry draw. And done. Show me the consign or another denial. Paying cost. Consign. Yield all. Unholy Heat target. Sign of Draco down will pass. Unfortunate we weren't able to resolve the K command, but I'll take my win where I can get them. Kavu, pass, 5/5. Show me a Myco spawn. World Breaker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One short. Unfortunate. That talisman being taken was actually pretty relevant. Damn. Which means now they might be able to hold up consign next turn. Kavu attacks. Takes the Ugin. Shrinks my yard. Yep. Down to 10. We'll draw. Land. Temple. Cast Breaker. Breaker, break the Triumph. Do you have a consign? You do. How unfortunate that we were late a turn on this. Consign will pass. No attacks. We might be forced to block here. We'll hold. I mean, I imagine opponent will vacuum up the breaker. Bolt, sack in response, rude. Down to 5. Kavu. So I'd like to see here is probably a Devour. Either that or Sire 7 Death. Vacuums up the breaker as expected. Down to 5. Dead to a Tribal Flames. We draw. Myco. Myco kick. Alright, so let's cancel that. Let's do it like this. Myco kick, hit the Triumph. Do you have another consign? You've already burned through 2. Do you have the third? You do not. Going for a Ghost Quarter here probably isn't good enough. So instead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably should go Temple here, would be my thought. Yes, we'll go Temple. Kavu was a 2/2. Because if anything, we actually might end up growing the Kavu. Consign. Why did you not consign? Oh, interesting. That's weird. Why would you not consign the trigger and the body unless you have a fetch? But you only have 1 Triome. So unless you have a bolt in hand to win. Discards a card, draws a card, discards a binding. Down to 3. Do you have a bolt or a flage? Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere is fine. I need a land here. Untapped land. Go. Talisman's not an untapped land, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are going to play the Talisman. And pass. There's a world where we might need to Shifting Woodland the Myco spawn, and there is. Fetch 14, 1 in hand. Temple Garden Shock 12. Kaguya's a 4/4. Is this a Flage? That is a Flage. I will concede. Unfortunately, we were just one turn slow. Between the Breaker not being able to play on curve and the Ugin as well, we were just one turn behind. And it really started with that Leyline binding. That is so unfortunate. Well, let's run it back. Yeah, because if Ugin had resolved, it would have been GG's. On the play for game 2. No green sources is a problem. We'll mulligan here. Hand was great otherwise. Hand's a bit slow here, but it is workable. I'll keep. And we pitch, so we go Bog, Forest, Talisman, pitch K command, done. Not my favorite hand in the world, but I'd rather not go down to 5 right now. What's our best top deck here? Probably a Temple. Bog, target you, pass. And pass. Wooded Foothill, passing, fetch 19 for Steam Vent Shock 17. Ragavan. Would love to see a Temple here so we can K command. K command. Talisman pass. And pass. Ragavan will connect. Ragavan will pilfer. What does Ragavan find? Ragavan finds a Talisman, that's fine. Right now we're looking at Speaker on 3. You could play the Talisman, theoretically. Arena of Glory. Paying cost 4. Talisman, holding up Consign, most likely. We'll draw. Forest. We could play Mycos Bomb, but that plays into Consign, so I'm going to play the Forest and cast Speaker. Speaker can filter for another color source for K command. That is a thought. I'm going to pitch K command. Thinking for Ice Still, honestly. I'm gonna grab Ice Still and pass. I'd love to see a fetch off top. It would be nice. We'll pass. Right now, binding cost 4. I'm gonna 6 in hand. Likely a consign based on how they're tapping. We could always use K command as permission for the Myco. If they continue to hold up mana for the consign. Arid Mesa fetch 16. Temple Garden. Does reduce the cost of binding now. Hasting. What are we hasting here? Flage. Flage Helix target me. Unless you have a bolt in hand for the speaker. So you have a bolt in hand for the speaker? Sure. Cast bolt. Consign for the flage. Interesting. Flage Helix. Target the speaker. That explains why he hasted it. Okay. Take 8 down to 10. Ragavan Pilfers A. I need that temple. Shit. We'll draw. Sire does not cut it. We'll cast Micah Spawn and pray they don't have another consign. I will grab Temple and pass. Problem is we're going to take 8 here, which means if they have a bolt or another flage, we lose. They have a bolt and concede. Unfortunate. Was not expecting the hasty flage into consign, but they got there. All right. Yeah, a bit of a slow hand. Did not find the cards we wanted in the time that we did. Ragavan pilfering the temple did not help things either. All right. Well, we'll be back for match 5. All right, we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. Not a great hand, but it's definitely a workable hand. Wooded Foothills, pass, draw. Myco, bog, target you, pass. Not my favorite start, but it is what it is. Wooded Foothills, fetch 19, surveil, I'd imagine. Elegant Parlor. Could be Storm, could be Energy. Keeps it on top, and we'll pass. Mountain, feels like Ruby Storm. But I'd love to be disappointed. Oh. Boros Burn? Draw. Interesting. Forest, Rumble, ping 2. Sanctum, done, pass, hold. Sunbaked Canyon. You have a Searing Blaze. Paying cost for... I swear that I just know too much Magic. The fact that I can just call out what cards my opponents are going to play is just absurd sometimes. I shouldn't know that my opponent's going to play a Searing Blaze. I just knew, though. Down to 12, down to 10. 3 in hand, we draw. Sire, we rumble. Eidolon trigger. 6 Misty, grab Misty. Not where I want to be, but it's where I am. We're going to block, I think. We need to ramp into Ugin or Sire here, but it might be a little bit too late. Goblin Guy, trigger. Attacks. Goblin Guy, trigger. Sees a formidable speaker. And block down to 6. Next turn we can Myco and ramp, or we can Ice Till and ramp. No, we have to Myco. Bolt Wave down to 3. 1 card left in hand. You have the Bolt to win. I'm gonna go down to 2, which means we lose. So I need a untapped land. That's not a fetch. Crack Sunbaked. Shard Volley. Yep, that will do it. Unfortunate. The Eidolon actually did a lot of damage to me there. So, K-Return could theoretically stay. Trinisphere in. They could also play Molten Rain. 6 out. Gemstone out. Ghost Quarter out. They could play a One of Flays. We'll keep the Bajuka Bog. I'm thinking Heat in. I think I'll drop the K returns and run it back. On the play for game 2, I will keep. I would love to see a lab off top. Wooded Foothill, fetch 19, 4, mountain, goblin guide, attack, goblin guide trigger, misty rain down to 18, end step fetch, surveil, trigger, sire to yard, and draw. Breaker. We'll play the temple, play the talisman, and pass, and pass. Barbarian Ring, Goblin Guide, Windswept 5 down to 12. Stomping Ground, and Myco. In that case, I will cast Myco Spawn, yield all, for a lab, imprint Breaker, play a Misty Fetch for a forest, Speaker, pitch Bajuka Bog, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll grab Cyrus 7 Death and pass and pass. Bloodstainmire. Bolt. Target spawn. Three cards in hand. Attack. Goblin Guide triggers. Seize Sprawl. Block. Take 4 down to 7. Pain cost 4. Shard Volley, Prowess. Down to 4, down to 3. Which means if you have a bolt, you win. Maybe we should have went for the Trinisphere after all. Damn. Scare the critics, and they got it. Maybe the Trinisphere would have been right rather than the Speaker. They would have only been able to cast one thing. I guess it still would have been the Bolt to kill the Myco, though, which means I still would have taken 6 there. So it still may have not been enough in the long run. I guess as follow-up, though, I would have been able to then Breaker, take him off a land. But then still would have been taking potentially 3. I don't know. That one's a hard one to evaluate, I think. I think there's a few different lines there because we, theoretically speaking, could have went Myco Spawn into Trinisphere. That would have meant they would have bolted me. I would have taken 6. And, I mean, I guess they would have taken 6 regardless. I took 6, 9, 12. So I guess I took 12 total. Rather than I would have taken 6 instead. So I'd still would have been at 6 life. That then would have allowed me to cast Breaker, break a land, the following turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Would have been able to break a land, and then we would hope they wouldn't have a land to follow up. So then they would have been able to attack in for 3. And I've been at 3. Meaning that if they ever found a land, they would win. I don't know. That one's tricksy. I feel like going for the Sire was correct, but maybe not. Burns up one of those matchups that I feel like you can play it a little bit risky, and then if you don't play it tight enough, you kind of get punished. But maybe the Trinisphere just would have been the right choice to reduce the number of casts they had, especially with the Monastery Swift Spear on board. I guess alternatively, we could have 1, 2. No, there wasn't any way for us to play the Speaker plus the MTGO. It was Speaker plus the Trinispheres. The only way we played that would have been the MTGO. Yeah. So I think MTGO is either MTGO and a Speaker or MTGO and the Trinisphere. And hindsight, I would say Trinisphere is the right play, as it would have given us at least one more turn. Because again, we would have taken 6 down to 6. We then would have been able to break a land, and if they didn't have a land, they would have been able to cast anything. At most, they could attack in and hit me for 3 down to 3, meaning that if at any point thereafter they get a land, they win. So, give and take on if it would have mattered in the long run, I suppose. Regardless, that there will be a 3-2 record at the end of 5. Our losses were to Zoo and to Burn. As far as Burn's concerned, I mean, they outpaced me in Game 1, especially on the draw. Game 2, I think, just came down to maybe taking the wrong line. You can let me know down in the comments if maybe taking the Trinisphere would have been the better line. I'm not sure if it would have changed things in the long run, but in the short term, like I said, would have given me at least one more turn. Against Zoo, I mean, that game 2 was rough. We were just 1 mana behind what we needed to cast in those exact moments, and it all came down to them Leyline binding my Talisman, which was at first a little bit curious, but ended up in their favor. Wins though against Blink, Mill, and more Blink. So overall, solid league. I cannot complain. They can't all be 5-0s. But with that being said, that there will be the end of tonight's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback, be much appreciated. For as much that I hope y'all learn from me in both my success and failure, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached the point of the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button, as we do continue to grow this channel. However, if you would like to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, you can find me there Sundays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Otherwise, you can get it over to my Patreon, where you can find these videos ad-free and early. With that being said though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!